All right, welcome everybody to the team call. It is the last Monday of November. Not even sure how that is possible. I can't believe that December is this weekend and that Thanksgiving is over and now we're into the true holiday season, which can be a really tough time in this business. So I'm going to talk a lot about how to not let yourself think that it's the hardest time in this business and how to continue to show up for yourself, and how showing up for yourself over these last 5-6 weeks of the year are really going to help you with momentum in the beginning of the year, how they're going to help you personally, how they're going to help your audience really see who you are and how it is easy to show up when you put your mind to it, and to help your business just keep going and to build momentum. So before I continue, let me mute everybody. Okay. First things first, though, is an announcement, and that is Transform 20 launches next week, meaning that purchases launch next week. Super exciting. Today, I've basically been in Transform 20 world, learning all the things and putting together an info group for us. So I will be sharing that in all of the team pages, probably tomorrow morning. I just want to look it over again. And then Jackie put together pricing images for challenge packs, completion packs, and accessory bundles with the coach discount prices on there, and all of the different pricing information. We made them for Canada and for United States. So thank you, Jackie, for putting those together. And then if you haven't seen it already, I created an information site, a Google site that's just a one-pager, basically. What is Transform 20? It's got the 1-minute video in there, just kind of some basic info with a few FAQs. So that is just a quick thing that is easy to just send off to somebody. There's also, if you have not seen them, they are both in the Goal Getters and the Fit Warriors team pages. There's an info site for basic almost every product that we have. I know Vicki had created a couple as well, so I know those are floating around there too. But I have created an info site for the performance line. So if somebody is like, what is Energize? What is Recover? Definitely give your personal testimony if you have one. But then some people just want the frickin' facts. Send them the info site. They'll get all the facts, right? And then, so the info group for Transform 20, though, is we did one for Lift 4, if you recall. And it was like prepare for liftoff or something, right? And in the units, there was just like, what is Lift 4? Who is it for? Who is Joel? Can I follow Tubi mindset? Like, what's the nutrition plan? What equipment is needed? And all of those things. So I did the same for Transform 20. So I put that together and I'm going to share that with you guys. And then we can add people as an info group. My goal is I'm doing Lift 4 right now, but on Wednesdays and Saturdays, possibly not Saturdays, we'll see. But definitely Wednesdays. Maybe I'll do size or something on Saturdays. I am going to do a Shaun T workout, okay? And I plan to share that in the info group because I think it's important that we try and get people ready for Transform 20. If somebody is not following a program and deciding what program should I do, recommend a Shaun T program, recommend T25, recommend Insanity Max 30. In the info group, I also put a few hybrid calendars that people could follow. They could do Shaun Week. They could do so many different workouts from Shaun T to help them, one, decide if they want to do Transform 20. That might scare the shit out of them, but let them know that it's only 20 minutes. But, and two, just to help them get ready and feel more prepared for Transform 20. Although Shaun T says that you do not need, everyone can do this program. It's 20 minutes. There's a modifier. You don't have to use this step and all of those things. Couple more important dates to go along with Transform 20 that you need to know. Number one, December 4th is when you need to purchase your challenge pack or your completion pack. And we're going to post in that info group when we all purchased it. Take a little picture of your whatever, super excited that you just purchased, and share what you purchased, because that will then get people excited and be like, oh, well, she purchased that completion pack with Energize and Recover or whatever. Well, then I need that too, if that's what my coach is getting, right? So you want to share that. So December 4th, that goes on sale for everybody. Okay. Again, it's the same thing as we have done for 80-Day Obsession and Live 4. Any coach who purchases gets into a test group. Okay. So again, you can use that as opportunity to sign people up as discount coaches to get into a test group with Shaun T himself. You guys, if you've never heard Shaun T speak, I literally linked his entire YouTube channel in this info site because he is the most amazing, inspirational man I know, like literally. So I also linked an interview that he did with Lewis Howes. If you don't know who Lewis Howes is, he's another inspirational guy. And so that's a pretty great interview too. So as soon as I post that, get yourself in that group and check out all those videos. So December 4th is when you can officially start selling those challenge packs. Oh, also read his book. Yes, T is for Transformation. I listen to it because it's him, and I just love hearing his voice, and it's awesome. And I literally went and I bought the book after I listened to it because I wanted so many of the quotes like in my hands. So yes, his book is recommended in the info site too. So T is for Transformation is amazing. Also, December 11th is the next date that you need to know. December 11th is when 3 workouts are going to be launched. One, a free workout for anybody, like a preview workout like we've done in the past with Lift 4, right? We had a preview workout that anybody can access. So December 11th, a free workout will be launched. Also on December 11th, at least this is how I understand it, if you have purchased your Transform 20, you will get 2 prep workouts. I think. Quote me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 12-11 workouts not downloadable. You have to have BOD. I understood that there's one that is free that you don't have to have BOD, and then there's the 2 prep workouts are the ones that anybody can do.
I just listened to it. It said that Shaun T made a promo video that talks about the free workout that we can use to promote, but to get that free workout, you have to have at least a free BOD membership. And then the other 2 workouts, the prep week workouts, you have to have purchased one of the packs to get those.
Got it. So they have to at least have the free trial membership.
Right.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense. So good to know. But again, you're at least getting people in there. They can do that workout. Then you can point them to Shaun Week or any of the other Shaun T workouts to give them a little bit more of a taste of Shaun T himself, to help them make that decision for Transform 20. But yeah, so if you purchase before December 11th, or then whenever you purchase, then you will get those 2 prep workouts. And it's like Transform in 10 and Transform in 15. So they're shorter workouts, but they're something that we can use, and I'm going to talk about in a little bit once I get to like the meat of the call. Then what else? Other than that, the official program launches January 14th. So that is the next date that you need. So December 4th, all sales begin. December 11th, workouts are loaded, meaning the free preview workout and the 2 prep workouts. And then January 14th is when the program will begin. And that is when we will start a big team challenge group as well. But more information on that to come. But that is at least my vision for it, is that we do a big one, or maybe a couple. I think for Lift 4, we ended up doing like a couple kind of larger groups. But it's so powerful when just a new program comes out and we're all doing it together day by day. And we've all seen that power with 80-Day Obsession and with Lift 4 now. So it is easy. And then, yeah, so January 14th is when it launches for anybody that's purchased. Thank you, Jolene. I can clarify that. January 14th is when it will launch, or everyone will have access who purchased it. So that VIP early access, right? But then it officially doesn't go for everyone, meaning anyone who has had BOD or already has BOD until April 1st. Okay, so December 4th, sales launch. December 11th, you get those few workouts. January 14th is when it officially releases to VIP, meaning that anybody that you've sold to since December 4th. And then it officially launches for everyone in BOD on April 1st. Okay, I think hopefully January 12th at Super Saturday, there's an exclusive workout. So the Chicago Super Saturday, I didn't even know if that was, all Super Saturdays. All Super Saturdays. I didn't know that. I have Joel at my Super Saturday, and I thought he was doing a workout. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Chicago, well, that's what they keep saying, but they have not announced it yet. So they keep saying it, but they have not made an official announcement. So part of me is like, I don't know if I believe them yet. Because I was going to buy a ticket to come home for it, but I have not heard yet. So, all right. I think that's all. Maybe he'll come to Texas. Maybe. All right. So when I was thinking about what to talk about today, I kind of thought about what Lindsay talked about last week, and we really hit on vision and like keeping that momentum for the rest of the year. And then really when we were talking in the new coach group this week, something that came up was like, how do I show up every day? And, you know, this time of year seems so hard and all of those things. And it just came down to ditch the freaking excuses and show up for yourself, and how showing up for yourself is going to do so much, not only for you, but for your audience, meaning your clients and the people on your social media that follow you, and for your business. So first, I want you to stop and think. We're going to do a little vision again, because I think it's important, and not this time, not for your business, but I just want you to think about yourself over these next 6 weeks between now and the end of the year. I think it's actually like 5 weeks. But what do you want to feel like at Christmas? And what do you want to feel like at the new year? Like, what does your life look like? What do you feel like? I wrote down a couple questions. What does it look like for you? What does it look like to go to the Christmas party and feel good in whatever you're wearing, right? Feel good about talking to your family about whatever you've been doing over the last month to help you still feel good about yourself, to help you know that you showed up for yourself. I know for me, it's not gaining the 10 to 15 pounds that most people gain, right? And to still be following my to be mindset, as I have been for pretty strictly for a while, for a couple months now, since I moved into this house. And I see the scale go up, I see the scale go down, and I have a very good mindset around it. And that you guys, if you guys don't know all my food struggles that I've had over the years, that is huge for me to not be so worried about that number anymore. But to continue feeling that way, to feel good in whatever I put on Christmas, and not be worried about like my pants aren't going to fit or what do I look like, especially because I'm spending Christmas with Patrick's family. I'm not going home for Christmas this year. So that is going to be something different and new. And then we're going to Utah for New Year's, and just want to feel confident, right? Isn't that what we all want to feel? And isn't that what our clients want to feel too? But like, just as we're thinking about that, and I'm going to have you think about your excuses now in a second, and what things are going to get in your way or try to get in your way, I want you to remember that feeling and what you want that to look like for you. So real quick, everyone open up the chat, and I want you to throw in the chat the excuses that either you make, your clients make, your coaches make, you see me make. I mean, we all make excuses for a lot of things, for our fitness, for our nutrition, and for our business, right? So what excuses? No time, too many temptations. I'm too busy. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the energy. I'll start in January when I'm in the right mindset. I'm too tired. I'm too rushed. I'm straight up just not doing the work, and I don't care. I can't do what you do. I already had too many treats, so I'll just wait. I'm too busy. I can't spend money on that right now when it's gift season. I'm too tired. I want to watch TV shows. Ugh, I'll do it later. No time. Too tired. Money. Too many parties. I don't want to feel deprived. I've given up already. Wow, we're good at these excuses. Yeah, I mean, we are. Number one, because we make them ourselves. My husband doesn't think it works. Ooh, no energy, working too much, no energy. Those are all the things that I wrote down too. I made actually like a little web. And I had holidays. I had kids on there. Oh, I want to snooze more. I don't want to diet like you do. I had kids on there, and I don't know that anybody put kids, but I think many of you thought that when you just don't have enough time, or there's other things that are getting in your way, right? Like definitely your kids are. Another thing was that I don't have a network. Like that was a business one that I thought of. Like I don't have anybody to talk to. You do. We'll talk about that. No time. All the Christmas programs. Yeah, there's a Christmas program. Like if you're a teacher, like every night there's something around the holidays that you have to stay for. I was, thinking about for the business, I'm too shy. I don't want to put myself out there. I'm scared. I have this fear. I don't want to sell. And these are the things that you are already coaches make for yourselves. So remember that too. Like if any of those are coming to your mind, like you're already a coach, what excuses are you putting up? And usually it is the fear, or the shy or introvert, or have no network, or it's just the holidays. Nobody wants to buy from me right now because they don't want to spend money on themselves, right? All of those things. We know what they are. I really don't make the time when I know I need to. Yeah, I mean, we're really good at these excuses, right? So now let's talk about like ditch those excuses. Like literally the only thing holding you back is your excuses, and is the fact that you're telling yourself that you don't have the time, and that there are too many temptations, and you don't want to diet, and you're scared because so-and-so maybe one time hated on a post, and who the fuck cares? Sorry. And I get it because I've had all those fears, and I still do sometimes. So it's not like they're not valid excuses, but it's also like you don't need to let them own you, and you need to own your story, and you need to own that you do like showing up to work out. Maybe you don't, but you're going to tell yourself you do. And it's okay to go to a party and not be tempted by the treats, to have the treats, but to not feel tempted by the treats. There's a difference there. And if you haven't done 2B Mindset, that'll help you. But there's a difference to going into a party saying, I feel tempted by the treats, or my coworker's opinion of me, or whatever. We can throw anything in there. And actually having the treat, or putting yourself out there for that coworker to judge or not judge you, or whatever the case may be. There's a difference. You don't need to be tempted. You can actually do it. You can actually have the treat. And because if you go in with that temptation, which is a fear, because you're already thinking, oh, I'm going to be tempted by those treats. And then you're going to have way too many because you're already scared that you're going to have too many. So you're going to have too many. Like that's literally what's going to happen because that's what your mind is telling you. But if you go in saying, I'm going to have a couple treats today and I'm going to enjoy the conversation and I'm going to enjoy the people that I'm with, that's going to be completely different mindset and it's going to make your night completely different. I'm just using that because that is what speaks to me for sure. Okay, I need to not look at the chats wall anymore right now because I'm going to be distracted. Okay, so how do we then show up for ourselves? And what is that going to do for ourselves? What's it going to do for our audience and our clients? And what's it going to do for our business in the long run? Because that's really what it's about. Because unfortunately, this isn't the easiest time of year. Thankfully, we have Transform 20 on our side. So that is going to help us at least get through December, right? We are going to have success with that because Beachbody's smart, you guys. They're not stupid. They launched that in December on purpose to help us. Like, come on, and to help people, right? So we are going to be successful with that. But yes, are those conversations going to be a little bit harder because of the holidays? I'm not going to lie to you. They may. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you're not going to be successful though. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. There's a series of things that we can do that we can control personally. We cannot control what anybody else does. We can't control who's going to purchase Transform 20. We can't control if our challengers are going to show up in our challenge group. We can't control if our coaches are going to show up for their business every day. I can't control what you guys are going to do every day. What I can control is showing up for myself and sharing that with you and with my audience and with my challengers and my current, clients, challengers, clients. I use those both words. They mean the same thing, however you want to use it. I can show up to show them what's possible. Okay. And you can do that by, number one, working out. Obviously, we are in a fitness business. If you are not following a program right now, you need to pick one and start tomorrow. No questions asked. Pick a program, start tomorrow. I finished Shift Shop and I started Lift 4. And I literally, you guys, I went through my calendar and I said, okay, when is January 14th? Okay, what program do I want to do? When does it need to start? Thankfully, it lined up perfectly. It's 8 weeks long. Lift 4 is going to end and I'm going to start Transform 20. And I already told you how I'm going to fit in Shaun T workouts to be able to show my audience Shaun T to get them intrigued by Transform 20. Okay? Because those workouts are going to fit perfectly into Lift 4 because Lift 4 is only 4 days a week. I always add a cardio workout in on that Wednesday. Shaun T's all about the cardio and not much weights. So it's perfect. But you need to be doing a program. If you haven't chosen a program yet, guess what programs you should choose from? You should be doing Shaun T's programs, any of them. Pick one of the hybrid calendars. I'm going to add you to the info. You're going to add yourself to the info group tomorrow. I added 3 different hybrid calendars you could do. There's a Shaun Week focus. It's got like T25 and Max 30 and Shaun Week in there. And I think some yoga's in there too. There's a T25 and Shaun Week, I think Insanity hybrid. And then I put in there also the link, if you guys don't know about this, the link to create your own hybrid calendar. You can choose like a few different programs. So you can tell people like, go choose a couple of Shaun T's programs. Tell it how many days a week you want to work out, and it will create a calendar for you. So I linked that in there as well. Okay. So you have so many tools in your toolbox to help you with that. But if you're not working out and showing up for yourself with your workout, you need to. And it is not for your body. It is for your mind. And by committing to yourself and showing up and proving to yourself that you can show up, that pride that you're going to have when you do, that is what makes it worth it. Like that, oh, you guys, it just feels so good. My workouts used to be for my body. I used to work out for 2 hours a day because I thought that was the only way you could do it. It's the only way you got abs. Never had abs then. It was the only way you could lose weight. Never really even lost weight from working out. I soon learned, well, way later, that losing weight actually came from nutrition, not from working out. And then I started doing these programs and realized these really are about your mind. Yes, they help you get muscle. Yes, they help you continue with the nutrition, which is what helped you lose the weight. I will talk about that forever, but working out, make it about your mind, not about how tired your body's going to be. Because that's what this whole Transform 20 is going to be about. Is I loved the focus. I wrote it in there, but the focus of this program is on fostering positivity and inspiration to help people harness their minds to transform their bodies. So make your fitness, make your workout about your mindset. All right, workout, check. You show up for yourself with your workout. Number 2, you show up for yourself in your nutrition. Whether that is following the Portion Fix or following 2B Mindset, you need to choose one and you need to follow it. And you need to share that with people. I follow 2B Mindset, and sometimes I use the containers to measure things just because, especially like my carb, if I'm having it at lunch, I still sometimes use a yellow to make sure I'm not having too many carbs, but I strictly follow 2B Mindset because that is what's helped me get in the right place with my nutrition to feel good and not feel guilty if I do have the treats or I do have the drinks or we order Thai food like we did last night and we went out for brunch. Like, I don't feel guilty about that. And 2B Mindset has helped me do that. Okay. I used to follow the Portion Fix and there's nothing wrong with it. And I think it's a great program. Our company has 2 awesome nutrition programs that we can follow. But you need to choose one and you need to be following one. And you can easily do, if you say, but I do keto, but I do paleo, but I'm vegan, or what else? What are the other hot things? Keto's the only one that keeps coming to my head.
A meat eater.
I'm a meat eater. I'm low carb. I'm blah, blah, blah. You can follow either one of our nutrition programs with any one of those diets because our nutrition programs are that. They are nutrition programs that help you learn about nutrition. 2B Mindset is more of a course that really helps you learn about nutrition. Portion Fix really helps you too, though. And from what I understand, there's like kind of a course coming out for Portion Fix. So I'm excited to hear about that. But you need to be following something and you need to be talking about it. We'll talk about the talking about it more. You need to be drinking your Shakeology. You need to be talking about it. You need to be sharing about it every single day. You guys, I've been making mine into like pudding and people are interested. Like, it's so good. I mix my Shakeology and my Recover. And if you don't do it, do it. It's the best. And somebody asked me, is that too much protein? Is it hard on your tummy? It isn't. It doesn't bother me, but some people use maybe half a scoop of Recover or whatever works for you. But I know Lindsay mixes hers together too. And it is so yummy. And I just started blending again. I never blended for the longest time. And Lindsay didn't either. I know you're not supposed to or something. Spruha said she read somewhere not to do it. I know, but it's probably because of the too much protein. But I have a lot of fruit in there. So I feel like I'm balancing. And 2B Mindset, I'm getting 50 and 50. I'm balancing my carbs and my protein. That's what matters, right? But drink your Shakeology and drink your Performance Line and talk about it. We're going to talk about it more. Okay. Energizes my life, whatever you call it. I call it go-go juice, call it your mom crack, call it your zing drink. I know Devin calls it zing drink. Whatever it is. I know some people, I've seen Carly lately calling it, it's my Pilates juice, it's my cardio juice, it's my weights juice, it's my whatever. whatever she's about to do, it's that kind of juice. Oh yes, the fruit punch flavor is coming out not till the spring, I think. But another announcement, December 4th, I think, is also the launch date of the little packets of Energize, the ones that look like the Crystal Light ones. Patrick calls it something. What do you call it, hon? Drop shots? Does anybody else know what these, he calls those little stick packs drop shots. I don't know. Like, I've never heard that before, but but you need to be drinking that. So that's our like, right? Be a product of the product. Vital behavior. Okay. You need to be using the things. You need to be sharing it. You need to be talking about it. You also need to be showing up for yourself with your personal development and sharing it and talking about it, right? Like, no matter what it is. Today I started a new devotional because I've been doing She Works His Way, which I still read that on my phone before I get out of bed. But then I was coming upstairs to my office and I was struggling a little bit with just like, I like to spend a lot of time like on God and on myself and on my journaling and all of that. And I was like getting away from it. So I was like, okay, whenever I get away from something, I have to like turn something around and start something new. And I read also today about how starting something new is like energizing and right? It makes you feel like you want to start something new. And so I pulled out an old devotional that I've already gone through before, but I'm going to do it again. And it's called The Confident Woman. It's Joyce Meyer. If you don't know her, but she's awesome. And I shared a picture of my devotional. And you should see the amount of messages I got from it today. I love your devotional. What is it? Show me. I needed that, because I highlighted the parts that spoke to me. Okay. It's simple things like that. Okay. And then also you should be reading some sort of book, watching some sort of videos, listening to podcasts, whatever it is, share it. Okay. Also, another way to show up for yourself is just to be nice to yourself. Like, be kind to yourself and to others, but mostly to yourself. Give yourself grace. I'm telling you to show up for all these things, but we also know that life's going to happen over the next six weeks. And we need to be like, okay, well, it's just one day. That doesn't mean that it is the whole 6 weeks and that I don't need to come back tomorrow, right? If you didn't show up for your workout or you failed yesterday at your nutrition. I just saw a message from one of my new To Be Mindset gals, and that is, I didn't even get to read it yet, but that's the first sentence. I failed at my nutrition yesterday. And I need to read the rest, but I just hope that she's in the mindset. And my response is gonna be like, you didn't fail, you learned. We're going to learn from whatever happened and it's okay. And we're going to move on. And today's a new day and it is what it is. So you need to remember that you can give yourself grace. We can all give ourselves grace. Like yesterday and kind of this weekend, I had a little bit of an emotional weekend. I wasn't home with my family for Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be home for Christmas. And I was feeling a little sorry for myself. And I didn't feel like cooking last night. And we ordered takeout. And you guys, Patrick and I have been together for like 6 months and we've been living together for 2 months and we've never ordered takeout before. After I ordered, I was like, babe, was it the first time we've ever ordered takeout? And he was like, it is. And I was like, proud of us, but like, cool. And I was like, okay, I'm probably going to have a gain on the scale tomorrow. And I did a 2-pound gain and I was okay. I owned it. I owned that. We went out for brunch, had some cocktails and ordered pad thai. Okay. Like it is what it is. It didn't ruin the rest of my day. I drank 150 ounces of water already and I stuck to my nutrition plan today. Okay. I was nice to myself. I could have been mean to myself because of that 2-pound gain, because of the failure of ordering out and not cooking dinner or eating the leftovers that we had in the fridge that were perfectly fine, chicken and broccoli. And it wasn't what I wanted. Okay. Also, another way to show up, kind of going back to the nutrition, which if you don't do To Be Mindset, this is something that you could still do. It is to track your nutrition and share it. We're going to talk about that. So all of these things you should be sharing. Okay. but all of these things are helping you show up for yourself. And by showing up every day, or at least almost every day, doing these things is going to help you feel better. And when you show up for yourself, you show up more for others. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. I'm sure you've heard me say that before. I'm sure you've heard Lindsay say that a lot before. And anybody else on this team, because I feel like we've said it a lot, you cannot pour from an empty cup. That's not just about personal development and filling your mind with the right things. I feel like it's all of these things. If you're not doing all of these things and showing up for these things, how do you expect other people to show up? How do you expect to motivate other people or inspire? I don't think you can motivate anybody. I think motivation comes from within. I sometimes have to correct myself. But how are you supposed to inspire somebody to show up for their workout if you're not showing up for yours? How are you supposed to inspire somebody to show up for their nutrition if you're not showing up for yours? How are you supposed to inspire somebody to show up for their mindset through personal development if you're not showing up for yours? And this is all before sharing it on social media, right? Like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to just do it. Sometimes I feel like I'm just doing it to share it on social media. I'm not. But do you know that feeling sometimes where you're just like, I don't want to share it? And there are days where I'm like, no, this workout's for me. And I'm not sharing it with you. You're not getting a video today. Okay? I think journaling is also another great way to show up for yourself. What's awesome about Transform 20, if you don't know all the details yet, is that it comes with a 6-week tracker that's kind of like a journal, very similar to the 2B Mindset Tracker, which is something new that has not come with previous programs. So that's really exciting. But I think that journaling is so key. And we've been talking about this a lot in the new coach group, and we've done 7-day stories and 14-day stories. And tomorrow we'll be doing our 21-day story. So be ready. And yeah, that's about us taking a picture and kind of showing that and talking about and reflecting back on the last 7 days of the last 14 days of the last 21 days. But it's not just reflecting on our bodies, right? It's reflecting on everything that's kind of gone on. And I think there's huge power in that reflection. I know for me personally, if you guys don't know, I'm really hard on myself. I always have been. And the reason I think that I'm super hard on myself most of the time is that I always am looking forward to the next thing. And not that you're supposed to look back, but I think it's important to look back to reflect. Not to look back to think you failed, or not to look back to, at whatever, but to look back and reflect on where you've come from and then where you're going, right? So I think there's huge power in that reflection, and journaling certainly helps that, because you journal and then you can go back and read them. Like, I just pulled up an old devotional journal that I was doing, and I read through some of the things, and it was about a year ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, life is so different. Like, the shit that I was worrying about a year ago I'm in such a different place, and it's just so powerful. All right. What else? Okay. How else do we show up? So those are all the things that are really personally showing up for yourself, right? Work out, follow your nutrition, read your personal development, be nice to yourself, track, journal, drink your Energize, drink your Shakeology, all of those things, right? And I kept saying, and share it. Share it on your stories, share it on your social media. That's the other way that you need to show up for yourself. That's still showing up for yourself. And because for me, this is the one excuse I make, is the weekend I don't want to be on social media. And so I don't sometimes, and I don't post, or you may just see stories, and that's fine. But I think it's important that you show up at least in one of those places for yourself and for your audience. So really, don't make it feel like you're only showing up to share it, but you need to show up and share it. Like, You guys, people notice. I just listened to this podcast today, and I will link it. It's the Best Life podcast. If anybody knows Danny J and Jill Coleman, I love them. But it is called the Best Life podcast, and their episode today that I was listening to was about showing up, essentially, which is funny because I had thought about this before I listened to this. And it was, what was it called? Be interesting to sell your brand. And it's funny because we've told you to be more interested than interesting. But when it comes to this business, you do need to be interesting. And they helped because a lot of people, like myself, I always say, well, I live a pretty boring life. I'm very simple. I'm single. I have no kids. I mean, I'm not single. I have a boyfriend, but I have no kids. Like, I don't have anything interesting to share. Like, I'm here every day. I sit in this office every day. I share Izzy every day. Like, oh, she's right behind me. So I always like, and I don't have interesting things to share. Nobody cares. However, what they did say is do something like the same thing every day. She was like, there's some girl who shows up every Tuesday and eats a whole fish, like Whole Fish Tuesday, it's called, or something. She shows up and people are interested because they come and watch her eat a whole fish every Tuesday. I mean, it's stupid, right? But do you think people expect to see my workout every morning? Probably. Or I recently, if you guys don't watch my stories, I recently started sitting in front of the heater, drinking my Energize and taking it's like a half photo of me in the heater and my Energize. And I just say like, good morning and like a little something. I don't know if people are looking for it, but it's going to be my thing. Find your thing and show up and share it. And don't worry about, oh, nobody cares. Nobody's watching. Nobody is commenting. No one's messaging me about it. You still have to continue to show up even when people aren't liking it. People aren't commenting. People aren't messaging. People aren't taking your polls. It happens to me too, guys. Like, people don't take my polls. People don't comment. People don't like. But I still do it every day in my stories. If you're not on stories, get your butt on stories and let me know if I need to do a stories training, because it is like, it's so fun. I don't know why you wouldn't be on stories, because it's fun. And then as for your social media, come up with some sort of plan. Mine used to be very like, I was planning it ahead of time and whatever. It is not that anymore. I'm 100% like on Instagram. I'm really hardly on Facebook anymore. However, I still run my groups on Facebook and I still message people like crazy on Facebook. And I post maybe once a day on Facebook, but I'm really primarily over on Instagram now. So if you're not seeing me show up on Facebook, that's why. Follow me on Instagram. But on Instagram, I'm posting it at least once a day, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. And one of those is some sort of quote. It's black and white. And it's like every third post, you see this black and white post. And I've actually gotten messages like, I love these longer, they're usually kind of longer quote posts that you're posting lately. And I was like, oh, thanks. But that's kind of the plan that I have, that every third post. And when you go see my profile, you can just see that it's all in a line. Okay. I think, Jackie, I don't know if you still do, but yours is every other. Mine used to be that way. So it's like every other post is some sort of quote post. Okay. And then the others are usually either a fitness post or a picture of me and Patrick or of Izzy or of something not, something not fitness related, because I don't want my whole profile to be just fitness. So again, I'm finding interesting things to share about myself. And we've talked about this. And if you've done the Instagram growth training, then you know that your top 6 photos should be 6 kind of different things about yourself, so that when somebody goes to your profile and sees your top 6 photos, they can kind of get a little story about who you are. But you need to show up. You need to consistently show up over these next 6 weeks, even if you're not getting the usual likes and comments and messages that maybe you were getting. Because by you showing up and sharing that consistently over these next 6 weeks, those people that are watching and not messaging you are going to be messaging you because you've consistently shown up. And if you're not consistently showing up, they're going to be like, well, why should I join her? I'm going to join that other Beachbody coach that I follow, who is consistently showing up, who is sharing that she's doing her workout every day, or she's sharing her Shakeology, or she's sharing her whatever, because people want to work with somebody who's going to show up, right? Don't you want to work with somebody who's going to show up? So speaking of that, the same thing goes in your challenge groups, right? So I was just talking about like your external social media, but think about your challenge group. At the end of the day, and I know we've said this before, at the end of the day, can you say that you showed up like a challenger, like you would want your challenger to show up? Did you share your sweaty selfie? Did you share your Shakeology? Did you share a recipe? Did you share what you ate? Like whatever it is that you want your challengers to show up for or as, did you show up that way? You need to ask yourself that. And if you didn't, you can start showing up tomorrow or tonight. Okay? Whatever time. You can go do your workout tonight or whatever it is. You can turn your nutrition around now. All right. And then last thing that you can consistently show up with, well, it's kind of two things for your business that, again, may not make a difference tomorrow or next week or the next week, but it can and will make a difference in January, come January, or whenever that person's ready, is making those connections and inviting people. You have to consistently be doing that. You need to be consistently, there are a few of you that were on the call right at the very beginning of the call, and I was on my phone because I spent all my day, a lot of my day, creating the Transform, just learning all about Transform 20. I watched the National Wake Up Call, which was all about pre-launching. If you didn't listen to it, it was all about like launching a new program. And then I watched interview with Shaun T about Transform 20. And then, so I was all Transform 20 today. So I had not done my connections or invites yet. So while I was waiting for you guys, I went to my latest story. So my story from this morning, because I didn't story a lot yesterday. And I went through and I sent messages. I sent some connections and I sent some invites. And those just depend on like what I feel needs to be sent to that person. And then I still had a little more time. So I went to my last post that I posted and I went to whoever liked it, and same thing. I connected with some new people that are new followers and new likers. And I sent a couple invites to the business opportunity. That was literally in like 2 minutes as I was like waiting for people to get on this call. You've got to show up, because I'll be honest, for me, that's the thing that I don't do every day, is because I love creating all this stuff for you guys, like creating the info sites and learning all about new stuff and watching training videos and doing all that stuff, that I'm just like, oh, I have to send messages to people. I don't want to talk to people today. Ever feel that way? Yep, that's me. And so I made myself do it. And that's the thing that I need to show up for, that you guys can help me hold myself accountable. But showing up for yourself to do that thing that you don't want to do is going to help you prove to yourself that you can show up, and it's going to create momentum. It's going to, those connections will turn into something later, but you need to make those connections. So I think I hit everything that I had on my little web. Is there anything else you guys can think of that you need to show up for yourself, and how that's going to help you and your audience and your business go. So I'm going to read through these. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Did Sean T post a hybrid calendar? Because that's what I was looking for today. He did? Okay. Because that's what I was looking for. So I'm going to have to look for that. And if anybody already has it, can you send it to me so I can add it to the info site? I'm ready for Booyah Brew. What's that? What did I must have said something. Stories, yes. Oh, Booyah Brew is his Energize. I love it. Booyah. Where? I just looked for it. I'll send to you. Oh, okay. All right. Hopefully this was helpful to help you ditch your stupid excuses and help you realize just the simple things. You guys, these are simple things. They're not things you've never heard before. It's not things that are anything different, but it's just reminding you because it's so easy to not show up. During this season especially, it is so easy to say, I'm too tired. I don't want to send those messages. I don't want to do my workout. I just want to eat all the treats and not give a shit. I just want to not drink my Shakeology, which that's dumb. I just want to not read today or whatever it is, right? Like it is so important and it shows yourself so much when you show up. It proves to yourself, like our last group was prove it to yourself because of proving grounds, right? Prove it to yourself that you can show up. Over 3 weeks, you guys, during proving grounds, it was my 40th birthday and I went to Austin and we went to Chicago right before proving grounds started. And I literally was partying for like weeks. And I still, if you guys didn't see my transformation photo, I could share it. I still got some results and it wasn't like a whole bunch of weight, but you could see that I got results in 3 weeks by for sure eating lots of treats, for sure drinking lots of alcohol and traveling and entertaining at my house. But I showed up every day for my workout. And what that does is I can't think of the way to explain it, but when you show up for your workout, you want to show up for your nutrition. And when you show up for your nutrition, you want to show up for your workout, right? Like you got to get started somewhere. And then once you do, you want to keep going. All right. So I see a couple questions. Yes, there is an info site in Goal Getters files for Transform 20. And then I will be posting the info group tomorrow. Yes, info site. And then do not hit snooze, get up, drink Energize, work out, and mix your recover with Shakeology and mixed berries. Yeah, so here's the trick I've got for Shakeology pudding. It's not a lot of water and it's a lot of frozen stuff. So I put a little bit of ice. I put literally like a really small handful of berries, frozen berries, the Costco mix, a handful of frozen spinach. You guys, I literally, if you don't watch my stories, I throw an entire huge bag of Costco spinach in the freezer. And I just pull that out every day and I grab a handful of frozen spinach, put that in there, half a banana, probably like, I don't know how much water. I count to 4. I'm not kidding. I turn on my faucet and I count to 4. That's how much water I put in there. And it's a NutriBullet. And then a scoop of Shakeology and a scoop of Recover and a scoop of almond butter. I don't measure it. It's a lot of almond butter. I like almond butter. And I mix it and it's like the perfect pudding consistency. It's so yummy. I suggest you try it. Also, do you think the Transform Step will sell out? Yes, it is going to sell out. 100%. They did not, I know for sure they did not get enough. That doesn't mean you can't buy some other step. It is what it is. But if you get at least one Success Club point in November, just at least one, you don't even have to hit Success Club. You just at least get a point. You have a better chance to get it. I don't think it's guaranteed. Someone correct me. I don't think it's guaranteed, Is it guaranteed that you'll get your step? Because what if like there's too many people? And are they then going by like, I don't know. But I'm not sure. I thought it was, I think it's guaranteed, but I don't know. It worries me because they never, I feel like it's always, they're not sure how many. Remember the whole slider debacle with 80 Day Obsession? And they were sending really bad cheapy sliders. Felt so bad for anybody that got those. Oh, freezing bananas is another good tip. Sorry. I'm such a... All right, so yes, at least get one Success Club point. That means at least helping one person get a challenge pack or Shakeology. What gives you 1 point? Something gives you 1 point, right? Or not anymore. It used to be Shakeology HD gave you 1 point. So it's at least 2, right? Yeah, Shakeology HD gives you 2 now. It used to give you only 1, but it gives you 2. Okay, any other questions, comments? Oh, performance stack. I thought there was something. A performance stack gives you 1. Good to know. Is that just Recover and Energize, or is that everything, Jillian? 109 for Energize and Recover gives you 1 point. Thought I'd seen that somewhere. Thank you for clarifying. All right, let's take a picture. If your camera's not on and you want it to be on and you want to be in the picture, then get your butt on the picture. I'll give you 1 more second. I see a couple more people jumping on for a picture. I'm going to take 2 because I'm going to take one with my phone and on my computer. All right, ready? 1, 2, smile. Hang on. 1, 2, smile. Yay. Thank you guys. I hope this just got your mojo up and it got your energy up and it got those excuses out of your head and it got you wanting to show up even when it's hard and you don't want to. Let's show up for each other and help each other show up for ourselves. Love you. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.